What is up, everybody? We're back in the garage. I don't like that intro, but you get the gist. We're in the garage. Okay, so I wanted to do a kind of quick review on the Fox body here and how far we've come. I've been really slacking on letting everybody know the updates, and that is completely my fault. But here we are. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of everything we've done from start to finish overall. So let's get to it. Originally, we had a, you know what? I'm just gonna let this man tell you.
What? Where'd we leave off?
I don't know. Just start from scratch.
Well, let me tell you. Where do we start? I can go on for days. Okay.
Let's start what was in the 302 originally. Like a quick rundown of that. Yeah, like what was the plan originally before?
So originally the plan with the 302 was we're just going to do a pretty mild, just top end, stock bottom end 302. We got the rings gap for boost, all that stuff. Did a nice set of heads, nice intake, and a custom grind cam for a Pro Charger. We were planning on putting boost to it. We're going to put around 450, 480 to the wheels. Be a fun push rod street car. Just when we thought things were going good, we're almost done with the whole project that we had started, because we did a rear end, we did the whole goodies, K-member, A-arms, did all kinds of stuff. So then, you know, us car guys, we threw that right out the window. That just wasn't enough. So, I came across a really screaming deal that I couldn't pass up, and it was to get this Coyote with a lot of the swap parts already in it. Pulled the 302, sold a bunch of everything off of it except for a few things we have lingering. So then we put this in here. I'm not going to make it seem like it was easy, because it was not at all. Not even the slightest bit of easy. It was made to go in there, but you really had to want it to go in there. Because if you can see, there's not much room between the headers here. Nothing like what there was with the push rod that, you know, obviously is supposed to come in there. So this motor is a Gen 2 Coyote from a truck. The previous guy had taken it apart, put new crank sprocket gears in it, put the good stuff. He swapped it, the front cover, put the Mustang cams in there. Pretty much made it a truck Coyote, or a car Coyote, minus the compression. Oil pump gears, crank sprocket gears. He did like the nice boundary ones.
All right, new phone, ran out of space. Coolant seepage issue, and go.
So he said coolant issues after it was already like almost done in his car. He said, screw this, I'm done messing with it. So that's when my opportunity came to buy his swap. And what he wound up doing was pulling it all out. He had got a new block from Ford and swapped everything over. So this is pretty much a 0 mileage Gen 2 Mustang motor. And I had got an 18 ported manifold for it. And that's it. I mean, it's just a stock 5 liter with BBK long tubes, and that's it. It'll make about, hopefully after I'm done with it, on pump gas, I'm shooting for 440, 430, 440 to the wheels, which this is a bone stock motor. That's what my power range would have been with a boosted top end 302 that had it before. So this has a lot more room to grow. I don't have to go building a bottom end after I pass 500 horsepower. All I gotta do is worry about a fuel system and just throw boost at it. So it's good for the long run. It's not really good right now because it sucks and it's nickel and diming me, and it will for a while.
What are you doing for cooling here?
It is just the SVE radiator that it's the aftermarket SVE radiator you can get for like a regular pushrod Fox body, but it's really cool. LMR actually sold a kit that adapted from Fox radiator to the Coyote stuff. It even comes with like the cool quick disconnect stuff. Has the heater core hoses. You got to kind of trim them up to length, but just nothing fancy, just some Gates 90 hoses. And it's pretty simple kit, but it saves the time of trying to go piece together a coolant kit.
What are you going for your fuel system. Like what'd you do for your fuel system?
So all I have for the fuel system on this car, since it'll be NA, is the air motive 340 pump through the factory lines all the way up until this regulator. So I broke it down here. I got these adapter lines. It goes from the factory. Oh, that was a zip tie. Almost cut me in half. Just gets these adapter fittings to go to AN from the factory Ford lines. And I'm going to an air motive regulator. Pretty much what I had before, but I just had to lengthen some lines, and I got this adapter to go to a factory Ford fuel rail. It's just a cool little adapter that goes to dash 6, and this runs to the feed. Everything's the same. They just had to adapt and shorten some lines. So pretty basic. It's just a 340 pump and then some lines to go to the fuel system, to the fuel rail, factory fuel rails.
What are we using to control the 302 or the 50?
Most people that do these swaps, they go with the control pack. It's really straightforward. You can't go wrong with it. The factory ECU that you get with these Mustangs are actually really good. You can go with make a lot of power on them. But I already had a Holley HP unit with my small block Ford, so it made sense for me just to, instead of buying a control pack, I just would spend the same amount of money just to get all the electronics to run on a Coyote, since I already had the expensive part, the HP. So I went and got the Coyote. It's new. It's pretty new. I think this year they came out with Coyote stuff for Holley. Got the cam controller, which is the VVT box, as well as the main harness. So it was pretty straightforward. I just had to run the wires, plug it into my HP. It was 90% plug and play to a Coyote, and that was it. I'll be able to use my Holley dash and all that stuff.
This system allows you to control both cams versus locking the cams out and losing power. That's what's really nice about the VVT system from Holley, is because it allows you to fine tune both cams individually versus having a cam locked out and you lose power on top end, low end, or something like that. So that's what makes this particular setup nicer than another, like their basic Holley kit.
Yeah, so I opted to get the extra cam controller versus just locking out the cams. And
what are you going for throttle body, and why are you doing it that way?
okay, so originally a lot of people adapt their small block Ford throttle body to these Coyotes. You can just buy an adapter plate, slap it on here, and then your small block Ford throttle body would work on it. Well, in my case, since I just had like a factory style intake, unlike a Boss 202 where the intake would be up higher, I ran into some clearance issues with this coolant. So what I'm going to wind up doing is Holley. They sell a really reasonably priced cable driven throttle body, which is also another thing about Holley. When you do this, usually it's drive-by-wire, which is just a sensor that you plug in, instead of what I'm going to be doing is cable driven, so it'll still be just like the small block Ford. So they sell a nice throttle body for a good price that'll slap on here, and that's the reason I'm going that route.
Suspension setup. What do you got for your suspension?
Okay, so suspension didn't change much from the push rod to now. I still have the UPR K-member and A-arms, and I am still running a SR Performance adjustable coilovers all the way around. Your best drag setup, but I'm kind of shooting for this to go to a GT car, so I can swap this drag pack out that I have to my regular street setup. I can take it around a road course, and I can also do some more adjustments, maybe take off the sway bar and throw these bigs and skinnies on it and go to the drag strip. I'm not looking to break the world. I'm just looking to have fun. It's a street car. I can't afford to be competitive. I don't build it for other people. I just want to have fun with it. Steering changed up a little bit. Got this manual steering rack. That's really nice. It's like, I think, a 20-to-1 ratio. Gets rid of all those crazy power steering lines that no one likes to deal with. I'm hoping they won't be too bad with these little skinny tires on here. No big deal. It's a UPR bump steer kit. And that's pretty much it for the steering. I mean, nothing's really much changed besides the manual rack and a bump steer kit. Probably drop, you know, some weight savings there. So, like I said before, I got the BBK long tubes going to a BBK X pipe, as well as this Stifler's cross member to let me bolt this T45 transmission in. And the T45 has some goodies in it just to make it a little bit stronger. It's not like a fully built transmission or anything like that, but it should be fine for a little while for what I want to do with it. And then this is actually my previous aluminum drive shaft. I went to Gears Unlimited in Independence, Missouri, and they cut a sweet deal on me getting this drive shaft shortened. We have the proper length here, so that's really cool. I'm also gonna have these Flowmaster Outlaw straight through mufflers. Have a flow tube to an Outlaw straight through, and then also have these. I won't have them turned down, but I'll have them turned away, just so it doesn't echo off the ground as bad. Real quick, at the top again of the motor, this is just a factory hydro boost system off like a 96 SM car, 96 Mustang. So Maximum Motorsports, they sell a really nice kit to adapt your hydro boost kit from that year car to a Fox body specifically. They even sell the lines that are already pre-bent that hook straight up to the master cylinder, and then adapts it so you get like the correct pedal length. It also even comes with a cooling pedal. That's the pedal. That's the new pedal that the Maximum kit comes with. This was not one of the fun things that we had to do. So to get that pedal in, you have to take the whole entire pedal box assembly out, which means you pretty much have to disassemble the whole underneath of this car. Pull it out, put the new pedal in, put your adapter piece in, and throw it all back in. Not hard, but I mean, it's very time consuming, but it's worth it. You get a really cool pedal. I wish all my other ones would look like that, but at the time, I'm not gonna have money to do that, and it's fine as long as the car stops. It's a little bit dark in here, but on top of this T45, the shifter that I got is an MGW Gold. Between the shifter I had before, is night and day difference. This thing is tight. I mean, reminds me of like a GT500 or something. It's pretty awesome. All right, so in here, this spaghetti mess that we have going on here, we haven't tucked it away yet because we want to make sure everything's running properly before we tuck everything away, and then we turn the ignition and nothing happens. So I'm gonna have it all out until that happens. So this right here is the VCT controller that we were talking about up front. This helps you control the cams. This is a very important box if you want to make horsepower in a Coyote with the Holley. These are the coil drivers. It's one of these per 4 coils. So one's 1 through 4, and the other one, 4 through 8, or 5 through 8, whatever. And then the HP is tucked away up there in the factory location. So spaghetti. So now on the rear end, nothing too crazy, but I didn't want to have to worry about it down the line. So this is just an 8.8 that comes in the car. Got it taken out. Got the axle tubes welded. Did a Ford Explorer carrier in there and put some carbon clutches. 31 spline rear axles. And then it also has rear disc brake conversion. So that helps a lot when you make more power. You want more stopping power as well on your brakes. Nothing too crazy, but it should hold up to what I'm going to be using it for. So this braking system, this rear disc brake conversion kit that I had got, it was like actually one of the first things I did to this car when I got it. Not the best kit. I ended up going with a cheaper kit from a local person here in the Kansas City area, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I'm sure that the kits that you can buy online from like places like American Muscle and LMR, you look at them and yes, they're expensive, but it is worth it. Like there's a lot to go with this kit. Like right now, my e-brake cable, if I pull it up and pull it back down, it sticks. So just little random odds and ends that I'm sure that those companies have already worked out, and you wouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. So what happened to me was I put this whole kit in. At the very bottom in the instructions, and some fine print, it said also we recommend upgrading to Cobra master cylinder and brake booster. So after you already spent X amount of money, but wait, there's more. You have to keep spending money and you don't realize it. So those kits are definitely worth it when you go do a rear disc brake conversion on a Fox body.
So there you have it, guys. A little bit of a long video, but it kind of gives you a breakdown and a run through of what we did to the Fox body. The quick gist of what we did before. Like I said, it was a 302 pushrod motor, basic cookie cutter build that was going to have a Pro Charger on it. And we just wound up yanking that out because we're car guys and nothing's good enough, and putting a Coyote in it. So as it sits now, it's almost done. The car is going to sit the way it sits, looks wise, color wise, and stuff like that for now, until we get further down the road and fine tune everything. But what you see is a full interior Fox. It's going to have heat, and it's going to be 0 miles almost on the motor. You know, 0 mile motor. Everything's pretty much less than 2 years old on the drive line, rear end, and all that stuff. And it's gonna be a badass car. I'm kind of looking forward to definitely taking the first drive, getting the tune in, and having Holley do work, and just it's gonna be awesome. So,
It'll be fun.
So thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, just hit that subscribe button, and we'll definitely try to keep you up to date more. Like I said, it's definitely been hard because I've been slacking, but now with this all quarantine bullshit, plenty of time to do things. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, peace out.